besties, my name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing my March TBR via the jar prompts. So I do this every month to kind of pick my TBR. I pick 5 from the jar, 5 I've already picked for myself. So let's jump right into it. So our prompt number 1 for my first book of March is going to be a book that has been on TBR the longest. I don't like this prompt, and I always put it back in here, and I don't like it. Because technically all the books from my top shelf, they're all new books. I purchased these recently. Oh, besides that one. And then these are my library books that I also want to get to. I really think it's either Girl in Pieces or Redeeming 6. You know, I think I have put it off for long enough, and I think it's time. I think I can do it this month. We're gonna see. But I think I'm gonna do Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. I'm really scared, guys. I am so afraid for this one. I'm gonna have to check myself in when I am done with this book, I feel. So this is the 4th book in her Boys of Tommen series, but it's the 2nd book of Joey and Aoife's little story. And I'm gonna be so unwell. This is a 700 pages. Be so for real. So we're gonna see how this goes. I cannot tell you anything that happens in this book because it'll spoil, I believe, the 3rd book. I'm gonna be so, or we're gonna be done talking about this, but this is going to be the first book on my March TBR. We are so excited. We're gonna see if I even get to it. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. I did not do well on my February TBR. At all. I think I read 2 books on there. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna get to them one day. So we're gonna get to Redeeming 6 in March. I know it. I know it for sure. Okay, let's pick prompt number 2. So we have a fantasy book. I believe Night Theater is fantasy. Rebel Witch is fantasy. So let's look at Night Theater. Okay, we're gonna do Night Theater because this is fantasy. So this follows a surgeon in a remote village, and he is in charge of basically bringing this family back from the dead. And there's some magical elements to it. Yeah, I'm very excited. I got this as a blind date with a book in my library. It's a shorter one, which I think will help me, especially with my big one I just picked. So yeah, let's do Night Theater. I'm not gonna try to say the last name. I'm so sorry. And I don't want to butcher it. I know I will. So we're just gonna do Night Theater and kind of see how it goes. I'm very excited for this one. So I'm glad I got this one on my list. Okay, let's pick prompt number 3. Let's see. Oh, we got one right here. Book with 1-word title. Slewfoot? That's the only one. Really? Really? That's fine. I just got this book 2 days ago. We have Slewfoot by Brum. I'm very excited for this. I've heard very mixed things, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Why is it the size it is? Why? That makes me kind of angry. I feel like I'm looking at a magazine. It's huge. I really have no idea what this is about, but I know it's magical and mystery and a little spooky, I believe. Oh, I am so excited for this. Oh, I had no idea this was going on. Oh, I'm very excited. So this basically says an ancient spirit awakens in a dark wood. The wild folk call him Father, Slayer, Protector. The colonists call him Slewfoot, Demon, Devil. And this woman, Abatha, is going to ask him for help. This deity, I'm assuming. I'm very excited. I don't know if there's maybe a little bit of romance. I have no idea. I'm very excited for this one. Very excited. So actually that one kind of worked out for my 1-word title. Okay, let's pick prompt number 4. Okay, so prompt number 4 is going to be new to you author. Well, I could do Savor It, but I don't think I've read anything by Tara. The Cruel Prince, Children. Okay, so all these, and then Being Lolita, and Let the Games Begin. I think I want to do Savor It. I have heard mixed reviews, I think, of this one as well, but it looks so cute. So let's figure out what this is about. Okay, so I believe this follows our FMC who lives in this very small town, and she wants to kind of stick it to her ex-boyfriend by winning some summer games, but she needs a partner, and this partner is going to be this New York chef that is coming to this small town after a loss, something like that. This book is filled with spicy summer fun, small town charm, and big feelings. So we're gonna see how this one goes. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be the perfect little kind of palate cleanser to the other books that I have on my list so far. Guys, honestly, this March TBR is kind of packed full with some heavier books based on the few books that I've picked for myself and then the ones that I've gotten. But I feel like it's giving me a broad range, which means my mood reading should be fed with this mess that I have basically going on. My last book that I'm picking with my TBR jar prompts is going to be book from KU Library. Okay, so every month I reload my Kindle with new books on my Kindle library because I keep 20 books, 18 to 20 books at all times on my KU library. So we are going to pick a book on my Kindle because I severely neglect my KU subscription sometimes, especially when I start reading like my library books, my physical TBR, my ARCs, things like that. I feel like I don't get my use of KU. So let's check what is on there right now. I'm gonna screen record. See, like right now, I have 19 books. Okay, well 2 I have read, 3 I've read, 4 I've read. That's fine. So, do I do Phantasma? Or I do Tame the Heart. I've wanted to read that. Rare Blend, I've also wanted to read. I really think I'm going to do Phantasma though. Yeah, we're gonna do Phantasma. My sister read it and she absolutely loved it. And she typically doesn't like a lot of, like, she likes books, but typically not fantasy, I think. But this is like paranormal fantasy, I believe. And it sounds very interesting. I believe it follows our FMC and she's a necromancer. Is that the right word? And she has to do these games in Phantasma to like make it out or like save someone, something like that. And there she meets Phantom, I believe. I don't know, guys. This is basically what Logan has told me with not giving me spoilers because she spoils everything she's ever talked about. So I told her to just do it very easily for me, and that's basically all I got. So we'll read that one for my KU library, but I also believe that one's a huge book. So we shall see. So those are my 5 that my TBR jar prompt picked for me. And then let's go over the 5 that I picked for myself. So the first one I have on here is Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in her Rose Hill series. And this one follows Tabby and Reese, I believe. I think it's Tabby. And Tabby is in need of getting guardianship for her nephew. And in order to that, she's going to marry Reese. So we have a little bit of a marriage of convenience in there. Maybe a second chance. Enemies to lovers because they cannot stand each other. And you know, if she writes it, I'm gonna read it. So I also pre-ordered it, so it's gonna be here soon. I cannot wait. I'm very excited for this one. I loved Wild Love and Wild Eyes. I cannot wait to have them up there on my shelf. They're up higher because I'm sitting on the ground. Then I have Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I don't have the physical copy with me because I'm actually getting it from Bestie Lexi because she annotated it and we're reading it for book club. So she asked if anyone wanted to read it and I haven't read it yet. So I'll be getting her annotated copy and I'm very excited because it's basically about like girl friendships, and what's better than reading it from like your best friend who's annotated it. I think I'm gonna be a mess. I'm gonna be a mess. I'm not gonna read in April if I finish these books because I'm gonna be under the weather. Then I have Only in Your Dreams by Ellie K. Wild. I got this as an ARC like a while back and I need to read it. So this is a small town brother's best friend romance, and she's just recently got broken up to, so she's going back to her small town, and there she is meeting this guy that she kind of had like a little thing with 10 years ago, something like that, and it happens to be her brother's best friend, and they don't really like each other a little bit of second chance in there, I think. Sounds very interesting, so I want to read it. And then I have 2 audiobooks that I want to listen to. So I have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hochul, and this follows Naomi and Nicholas, and they seem like they have the perfect life. They're planning this picture perfect wedding. Everything seems great, but they actually loathe each other and they can't stand each other. And they are going to kind of make like a little bet, a little game that whoever calls off the engagement has to pay like the deposits that they've already put in. So they are going to basically sabotage each other throughout this book. And I think it's with them like realizing themselves a little bit. They kind of fall back in love or something along those lines. I'm assuming they get back together because it is a romance. So I feel like that's not a spoiler. I mean, I haven't even read it yet, but I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. I think the audiobook is supposed to be really great of this, and I'm just very excited for like the push and pull of like Marriage on the Rocks a little bit with like them not liking each other. And I think that's a lot of fun because typically Marriage on the Rocks, it's like one person is falling out of love with the other one, and this one I feel like that's mutually, they're both like this other person kind of sucks. So very excited for that one. And then I got an advanced listener copy, ALC, I don't know how to say that, whatever, of Last Twilight in Paris by Pam Jenna. I really wanted to read this one because it's based on a true story, and it follows our main character, Louise, I believe. And she is adjusting to life as a housewife, like post-war. And there she finds a necklace at a secondhand shop that belonged, I believe, to her best friend. And she's going to be going back to this place that sold this necklace, which was then turned into like a Nazi prison, and kind of figure out where her friend went and how it happened to her friend or something like that. And she's trying to find the connection between this store, this necklace, and her best friend. And I'm very excited to listen to it. So those are the 10 books that are on my March TBR. I am a little nervous, but very excited for this month's reads. I feel like I have a really good base of like a bunch of different genres. So I am hoping I get to all of them. we're gonna see. Maybe March is gonna be my month that we kick off reading all of the books on my TBR. So as always, let me know what you're reading this month. Let me know what books you've put on your March TBR. Let me know your priority reads, new releases that you want to read, because I only have one on here. And as always, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Love yous!